Kids often communicate in some pretty weird ways, like insisting the dog doesn't like your new haircut or telling a cranky cashier to go take a nap. But how do you decipher behavior that is both confusing and destructive, like lying, hitting, or running away? Children who come from hard places tend to struggle with expressing and processing their emotions. In this video, we'll explore some of the tactics these kids develop to cope with the effects of trauma and why. Then you'll learn 3 effective strategies you can use to help your child find a better way. The ability to manage our own emotions does not come naturally. Regulation, the ability to calm yourself by yourself, must be learned in stages. Infants rely completely on their caregivers to meet their needs and soothe them. This is called external regulation. As they grow, children begin to learn how to respond to their own emotions with the support and example of that caregiver. This stage is called co-regulation. Exposure to abuse or neglect at any stage of development, including in utero, derails this process. The resulting trauma creates major obstacles on a child's path to learning emotional regulation. Obstacles like sensory struggles, PTSD, and broken trust. In their book, The 3 Pillars of Transforming Care, Howard Bath and John Sita explain how kids with trauma develop their own strategies to help them cope. Without a safe adult to guide and teach them, many kids learn inappropriate or maladaptive coping skills. As the parent of a child with a history of trauma, you've likely experienced some of these behaviors. Some children learn to categorize every interaction in terms of black and white. Even in minor altercations, your child may view himself as completely innocent and you as completely guilty, or vice versa. You're a good person and he is a bad person. Another harmful strategy is denial or lying. When confronted with anything unpleasant, your child may blatantly deny reality out of fear of potential consequences. Lying is a conscious effort to avoid blame, while denial is an unconscious method of managing fear and anxiety. A third maladaptive coping tactic is called reaction formation. Trauma can disrupt the link between a specific emotion and the corresponding reaction. This may lead your child to act contrary to his own interests. A child who fears abandonment might act distant, whereas a child who desires comfort from you might lash out physically or verbally, actively pushing you away. He wants to connect, but past experiences make connection feel scary. This inner conflict makes it hard to express his needs and emotions. Essentially, your child never learned what to do with his big feelings. As a result, he developed creative and sometimes disruptive ways of getting his needs met. Other tactics you might see include manipulation, whining, kicking, fidgeting, or hiding. As we begin exploring strategies for identifying and addressing these behaviors, it's important to remember 2 things. First, your child's behavior is a result of trauma, not a result of your actions. Every child is different, and it takes time and training to figure out what they need from you. Second, you may never know what happened in your child's past that led them to develop these coping tactics. You may not even know what triggered a specific behavior in the moment. That's okay. You don't have to fully understand the cause of a particular behavior to help your child heal and grow. You just need to be present, attentive, and compassionate as you practice 3 strategies for co-regulation. Let's explore a real-life scenario to help us apply them. You're making your 12-year-old son lunch as he sits at the kitchen counter. He's happily chatting about his upcoming soccer game when you crack open a can of soda for him. Suddenly, he falls silent. His eyes widen, his fists clench, and his breathing quickens. You ask what's wrong, but he remains silent as his eyes dart around the room. You try to approach him, but he jumps up, backs away, and starts yelling, "I didn't do anything." You have no idea what just happened or what triggered this behavior. You're likely thinking, "All I did was make your lunch." You may feel confused, hurt, or frustrated by this sudden, unexplained shift. But in order to de-escalate the situation, you need to be fully present and calm when you respond. Your first strategy is to disarm your child. He's on high alert. His brain has entered survival mode. He needs you to help him regulate before trying to figure out the cause. You do this first by observing the signals he is sending. His erratic movements suggest he's feeling threatened. Backing away and clenching his fist indicates a fight or flight response. Reading his nonverbal cues can provide insight into how to react. You'll want to adjust your body language and facial expression. Crouch down to his height, make gentle eye contact, or put a barrier like the kitchen island between you. This is a nonverbal way of telling him, I'm not a threat to you. I'm safe. Next, you can model calming actions for him to mimic, like deep breathing or stretching. When you do speak, use a calm, quiet voice. Try not to ask questions right away. Instead, help him name his emotions and then offer your support. Even if you aren't sure what he's feeling, labeling strong emotions can help calm his brain's threat response. You might say, hey, I can see you're struggling. I know this is really hard, but I'm right here. As he begins to calm down, you can offer him choices of what to do next. This can help his brain regain a sense of order and control. It also builds an association between big feelings and good coping skills. Would you like a hug, or would you like to go play catch outside for a bit? Once your child has calmed back down to his base level, you're ready to move on to your second strategy. It's time to debrief. Debriefing means walking your child through what happened and discussing how he felt. This gives your child a chance to build his emotional vocabulary and make sense of his internal experience. This is not an interrogation into what triggered your child. This is a gently prompted storytelling to help him label and understand his big feelings. A debrief might sound like this. Hey, you seemed really frustrated when I was making your lunch. Do you remember how you were feeling when I asked you what's wrong? Were you feeling scared? That must have been really hard. Your goal is to help your child feel seen, label his emotions, and validate those feelings. It's okay for him to feel scared or angry or sad. You're there to help him through it. Next, prompt him to recount what you did when those big feelings hit. You took deep breaths, you stretched your body, you used your words. Connecting these appropriate responses to his big feelings can make those feelings seem less scary in the future. And it lays the foundation for your third strategy, practice. This strategy involves creating a pattern of positive coping skills while your child is calm and regulated. Practicing healthy emotional regulation when your child is calm equips him with the tools he can use in times of stress. First, lay the groundwork. Choose a time when your child is calm and attentive to discuss good tactics for handling big feelings. These tactics may include things like asking for a compromise or using scripts. A compromise allows your child to regain a sense of control by suggesting an alternate solution that suits both of you. If he isn't ready to go to bed when you call him, he can ask to set a timer for 5 more minutes. This teaches your child that he can ask you for what he needs without big behaviors. Scripts are short, clear phrases you can use to gently redirect your child's behavior. Common scripts include use your words, no hurts, try again with respect. Begin using these phrases during times of peace to establish an expectation of behavior. Then, when big emotions come up, these familiar phrases can help guide him toward appropriate choices. This gives him the chance to practice and succeed at responding correctly. Next, practice regular emotional check-ins when your child is calm. Tell your child that when he feels mad, upset, or scared, you will help him remember what to do. The goal here is for your child to be able to listen to his body and identify his feelings. You can begin by modeling this skill yourself. You might start by telling your child, I feel happy today. I know I'm happy because I'm smiling and my body feels relaxed. Then proceed to ask how he is feeling and prompt him to explain how he knows. This association between physical sensations and actions will help your child recognize his big feelings and connect them with the strategies you've taught him. As you begin to practice co-regulation, the most important thing you can do is stay present. Use your words and actions to show him that no matter how he's feeling or acting, you will be there to keep him safe. With time and practice, you can help your child learn how to manage his big feelings. Yes, your child may have been through a lot, but God has chosen and equipped you to teach him a better way.